G'day everyone, this is Muddles. Just want to go over a few things about Rainbow Six Siege that have proven to be serious problems. This game, I love it. I love the game itself. I love how it works. I love, I enjoy playing the game. But there's a few things that get in the way of that, and it really upsets me. A few things I want to go over is one, glitches that you run into in all sorts of games. Some are not a big deal, some are a big deal, and some make you enjoy the game less. Another one is queue times. My god, the queue times in this game. Jesus H. Christ. And another one is being able to deal with players who are abusive, hacking, team killing, whatever. So I'll start first with the glitches. I've run into quite a few thus far. I've ran into drones being destroyed without ever being shot or hitting taser wire or anything like that. They've just gone and been destroyed for no reason. I've run into drones attempting to... once I attempted to throw a drone through a window that I had just breached. The drone fell into nothingness, did the everything's invisible glitch and fell through to an invisible floor that then it was destroyed. Didn't have a drone for the rest of that game. It's upsetting. I've run into being able to see muzzle flash from behind a wall. So at one point I was sitting in a room, saw a guy out of a doorway over on some stairs, and I shot him. Like, he was camping, one little pew headshot, and that was all. A fella who was out the door and down the side couldn't see me, but when I shot, the muzzle flash appeared, and I witnessed this on the kill cam. The muzzle flash appeared, and he was able to see it, even though I was on the other side of a wall. Like, the wall, it almost looked like there was a little light on the wall that just flashed, and it was me. And so, of course, he came around and he killed me. To a greater degree of the same thing, being able to see someone's feet sticking through a wall is not something that should happen in a fully released game. Like, this game's supposed to be semi, if not fully, realistic. This is a realistic game. You can't see people's feet sticking through walls. I can't stick my foot through that wall. It's made of limestone. If you don't know what that is, you obviously don't live where I do. But things like that, like, I've got I think at least 2 kills at this point just by seeing someone's foot in a hallway and going, oh, there's a guy behind that wall, and just shooting him and say, sorry bastard, sorry guy, excuse me language, and then shot him. That, no one should be able to do that to someone else. Not me to those people that I shot, not anyone to me if my foot sticks through a wall. That shouldn't happen. Not in a fully released game. This game, as of this video, has been released for a while, and has already undergone some work to improve it. But these sorts of problems need to be fixed before the game is released. Before the creators go, boom, there's our stamp of approval. We think this game is good enough to release to you, the people who want to play this game. It should be done. This game is incomplete. If it still has these problems, it's not done. It shouldn't have that stamp. It shouldn't be on there yet. It shouldn't be on the shelves. Anyways, moving on to the next one, which was not players. Oh, well, I'll deal with players. At the moment, let's say you're playing casual, there is a vote to kick player option. That's it. That's all you've got. So, fancy your fella you're trying to kick over there is in a group with a couple other people, you won't. You have to deal with that person or leave. That's it. Like, and then you have to go through the queue time is the other one. And you have to go through the arduous friggin' queue again. But in so many first-person shooters in today's day and age, there is a report system. Like, at the moment, even if you kick a person for team killing, being verbally abusive, or hacking, I haven't come across a hacker, but God forbid you did, The only thing you'd be able to do about it is kick him. That's it. Nothing would actually happen to him. He'd be able to queue for another game. He'd be able to move on with his life. No big deal. There's nothing actually being done to deal with those people. Now, here's something that I thought would just be a fantastic little implementation. It's obvious you can work around it. It's not foolproof. It's just something that there's no reason not to have it in the game. If you shoot your teammate for 100 points of damage, not thermite charge, not grenade, not none of that. If you just shoot your teammate for 100 damage, you should be kicked instantly. Like, if you aim at your teammate and you fire until you've done 100 damage, you hold down that trigger until you've done 100 damage, I'm going to say that 99.9 reoccurring percent of the time, you're attempting to be a dickhole. And if you're doing that to be a dickhole, you should be kicked. That you're ruining that person's fun. He has to sit out that round because you were a dick. Should be a ban. Should be a instant kick. Done. Dusted. There's no reason not to have it in the game. I mean, fair enough, you don't want it for everything. If someone does blow up a charge and kill a person, that person is not necessarily at fault for that death. That person might have been a wingnut who ran under Thermite's charge just as he was breaching through the roof. That's not Thermite's fault. It's not his fault at all. But if you shoot someone, if you actually aim at someone and shoot for 100 points of damage, you should be kicked. Like, that is clear enough evidence to just about anyone to be like, nah, that guy's being a dick. Next thing, the queue times. This is probably by far and above my biggest pet peeve with the game. I've spent upwards of 20 minutes in a queue. 20 minutes of my time I've spent just staring at a screen, waiting to join a game. That's it. That's all I'm doing with my time. It's 20 minutes. I'm just sitting there. That is so frustrating and infuriating, and you can get lucky and be in a game instantly. You can join a game in progress and be in there instantly. As soon as you queue, you're done. You're in. You can be very unlucky and spend upwards of 20 minutes going from queue to queue of people joining and leaving and not getting anywhere. I was in a queue for 15 minutes just before. This is probably, I'm recording this probably 30 minutes after playing. I was in a queue for 15 minutes. There were 10 people in that queue. 10. Everyone was there, everyone was organised, everyone was ready, everyone wanted to play a fucking video game, and the video game didn't let us. We was just sitting there, 10 people in a queue. Every now and then someone might drop out, join back in, this guy might drop out, join back in, but we had 10 people for 15 minutes waiting to play the game. That is stupid. I don't know what's going on with the queue. I get that there's probably a whole bunch of problems with people joining and leaving all the time because people have got the patience of a half freaking mutated budgie. But fucking the queue time seriously needs a fix. There are times when it just seems impossible to play the game, and that is something that's going to drive people away from playing. But nobody wants to sit in a queue. Nobody wants to waste that much time just to play a video game. They can play any other video game and have it straight away. Like, there are plenty of people on to be getting queued like that. It shouldn't be a problem like this, but it is, and it's a huge one. Anyways, the last note would be that I love Rainbow Six Siege. I love the gameplay itself. I love almost everything about it. But the things that hold it back just shouldn't be there. There are so many things that hold it back. Just little things here and there, and then a couple of big issues. But a game that's been released to the public shouldn't have those kinds of issues. A game that is supposed to be good enough for people to buy it off of the shelf shouldn't have issues like feet through walls, drones disappearing through windows, frickin' queue times of stupidly long queue times. This kind of crap shouldn't be in a completed game, and it is in Rainbow Six Siege as it stands, and that's disappointing. It's very disappointing. But I have no doubt I'm going to continue playing the game because I like it, and I'm going to sit and pray and hope to Christ that they fix these problems, that they make the game as good as it should be, because it is a good game. It should be good. This has been Muddles, and I'm outie.